historic and beloved SS Badger Ferry, arriving in Manitowoc, Wisconsin from Ludington, Michigan on a fine August afternoon. It's been a few years since I saw her last, November of 2021 to be exact, when the Grand Lady was towed across the lake to Sturgeon Bay for her 5-year Coast Guard inspection and a long overdue makeover. 2 months later, under new paint and several upgrades, she was towed back to Ludington. I'll leave a link to those 2 videos below in the episode notes. If you're a fan of the Badger, I think you'll appreciate them. Welcome back to Behind the Door, everyone. I'm Kevin O'Donnell. It's been a whirlwind summer promoting the release of my new book, so Colleen and I decided to take a short trip off the peninsula and head out beyond the door on a 5-day journey around the western Great Lakes. Colleen was pretty excited. Having never been on the Badger and hearing me talk about it all these years, and I've been trying now for several years to coordinate a trip on this national treasure. As we sailed out of Manitowoc, we made ourselves comfortable on the starboard deck and sat outside the entire journey. It was an absolutely picture-perfect day on the lake, and we arrived in Ludington 4 hours later, docking adjacent to the Badger's sister ship, the Spartan, which, sadly, hasn't left her home dock in 45 years. Preparing to exit the ferry, we were ready for the short drive and eager for our first photo excursion. We are at, what's the name of this place?
Ludington State Park.
Ludington State Park. Say hello to Colleen, everybody. We're at Ludington State Park, and we're heading out to Big Sable Point Lighthouse, which is about a 2-mile walk, and we're about a half an hour before sunset here. And it doesn't look like there are any or many clouds in the sky. It doesn't look like we're going to get much of a sunset, but I'd like to get this lighthouse anyway. It's been a long time since I've been out this way and have never photographed this lighthouse. So, about another mile, just over a mile to go, and we'll see what we see. So here's the current challenge. We still have nearly a mile to go, and the sun is racing us to the lake, and we are trying to get there before we lose all the light. It's a beautiful golden light cast on these dune grasses right now, but they've gone just beyond the dunes, and it looks like we're going to get to the lighthouse right around sunset, and I still have to find a composition. So yeah, it took a lot longer getting off the Badger than we thought it would by the time we got our car and all of that. So we're going without stopping here, walking at a good clip, hoping we beat the sun. Just walking and walking, and we see the lighthouse, and every time it dips behind a sand dune, we come out the other side, it doesn't look like it's any closer. And I think, guys, we're going to miss the light here by about literally a couple of minutes. Plus, it's really windy. I don't know if you can hear that in the microphone. Probably, and I apologize for that. Here, I'll give you a look at the lighthouse here. We're nearly there. Well, here we are, guys, but look at this. Just missed it. Just missed it. Well, the 30-mile-per-hour wind made the audio completely unusable, as I had lost the dead mouse windscreen for the Rode mini microphone that was attached to the camera. I had taken the time to walk through each of my compositions too, but rather than subject you to the horrendous audio, I'll just show you the results of those photos here.
I'm a rolling stone, bound to roam. Come the morning, or I'll be gone.
Good morning, guys. Beautiful morning here on the eastern shore of Lake Michigan in Manistee this morning. I wanted to get out here before the sun came up. Comes up in about another 15 minutes, 6:55 this morning, to catch that soft light against the Manistee Lighthouse and maybe even catch this full moon in the shot as well. Waves are really rolling on the lake this morning. Not quite like they were last night when we were out at, where were we? What lighthouse were we at? Big Sable Point last night. But still, a nice foreground subject here. No drama in the skies this morning, unfortunately, but we'll see what we can get. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of fishing boats out here, anglers. This is a very popular fishing area on the Great Lakes. And yeah, we'll see what we can come up with this morning. So I'm shooting with the 24-105 lens, about 1/80th of a second, f4. I want to get an ISO 500, sorry. I wanted to get a little bit of movement in those waves. We'll try some different shutter speeds and see what we can come up with here. Might need to go slower, might need to go down to about a quarter of a second. We'll see. Pretty lighthouse though. I can't get the moon in this particular shot. A little bit out of position. I might go down the beach a little bit, see if we can't get it in. Okay. A little bit of movement. Sit down here. My trusty stadium cushion, the #1 non-photographic item in my camera bag. I use it wherever I go. There's someone standing out at the end of the pier too, fishing, looks like. It's quite nice. And of course the light in the tower flashes for 1 second every 5 seconds. So I'm trying to time this so that the light is on. 1002, 1003, 1004, 1005, 1000. There we go. I mean, you know, it's a photograph. I had a discussion with somebody the other day. What's the difference between a photograph and a picture? And a lot of people define it differently. I have my own definition. My definition of a photograph is something that you take time to compose. You look at all the elements in your composition, or you go out with a specific purpose to get a specific photograph, whether it's weather related, you know, astronomically related, like with a full moon. Tonight we're going out to shoot the full moon coming up over the Mackinac Bridge, for instance. That's a photograph. A picture is something that you take, usually without hesitation, it's spur of the moment, just to record a memory. Yeah, so that's my definition anyway. There are many others, I'm sure. Trying to catch some of these waves breaking here. This is nice now. So I'm just going to darken this down a little bit. Shoot at 1/60th of a second. And bring my ISO down to about 200. See what we get. I'm going to try something different here and shoot with a 70 to 200 lens. I'm going to set up over there, see if I can't get the angle of the pier, the moon in the background, just for a little bit of an abstract shot. Just as I positioned my rig for an abstract shot of the pier with the moon in the background, I saw someone briskly walking down the pier toward the shore and reflexively took a series of pictures. To my surprise, they turned out far better than I had imagined and thought the photographs would make for a nice triptych. Focusing in on the lighthouse, because I don't care if the waves are a little bit out of focus here, because they are in the foreground. I want some movement in the waves anyway. Oh, that's nice. We still have our fisherman out at the end there. He walked away for a while. He was on the other side of the lighthouse, but he came back. All right, we'll just sit here and take a dozen or so of these and pick which one has the nicest wave break to it and composition to it. That one's lovely there. I can't quite get that moon in my shot. It's just a little bit out of alignment. A couple guys out there fishing. The sun's gonna break over the horizon here in about another 3 or 4 minutes. That's gonna change all my settings. I'm going to turn my image review off so I can just take one shot after the next here. Shooting at 1/8 of a second. Aperture is 13, ISO 100. I bet if I get a little bit lower, a little closer to the sand, maybe down just a little bit, they can make those waves look like they're larger. Let's give that a try. Oh, that light is hitting the lighthouse now. Looks beautiful. Beautiful. Sorry about the view, guys. That's better. The light's catching the crest of those waves now. It's very nice. Keep having to darken this down a little bit
I want to blow out these highlights. This is fun. I really should have my remote trigger, but I left it in the car. I don't want to use the shutter button. That introduces too much movement, but just by touching the back screen here, which is a nice feature, I can not really add any shake to the camera. It just requires a real soft touch. It's a matter of timing it right. Come on, brake right in front. Here we go. Oh yeah, there you go. Very nice. Yeah, so this is a bit of a lighthouse tour. Michigan, which has the longest coastline of lakes in the country, also has the most lighthouses. And this eastern shore of the lake along western Michigan, lower Michigan, has a lot of lighthouses. So we plan on stopping at a few. All right, a couple more here, and we'll move on. Oh, nice one. All right, a couple more, guys, and we'll move on. If you've looked at my website, you can see that I have a gallery there just of lighthouses. I've always loved lighthouses. Turns out a lot of people love lighthouses. I sell a lot of lighthouse photos. Oh, nice one. I better get back. Colleen is probably up and showered already. We have a long drive ahead of us today. We're gonna make a few stops. Just follow our nose. See where we end up. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you at the next stop. All right, a couple more, guys, and we'll move on. I keep saying that. This is fun. The light's getting a little harsh now. Come on, brake for me. There you go. That's the keeper. All right, till the next stop.
Well, it was only 8 o'clock in the morning, and I felt like I had already put in a full day of photography. I headed back to our cozy little motel where Colleen and I enjoyed our breakfast overlooking the Manistee River, and we talked about what the day might yet bring. On part 2 of our Great Lakes adventure, we continue along the eastern shore of Michigan for yet another lighthouse visit and meet some interesting folks along the way, including Johnny Sweets at the legendary Kilwin's chocolate flagship store and manufacturing facility in Petoskey, where they rolled out the red carpet for us and arranged a private tour of their candy making process. It was a sweet afternoon.
Well, thank you. My pleasure.
Crossing the Mackinac Bridge into the Upper Peninsula, we made our way to Sault Ste. Marie, catching the Edwin Gott locking down, and then entering the St. Mary's River. What a beauty. From there it was on to an evening visit to Tequanimon Falls and an early morning boat tour the following day of Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore. A brief stop in Marquette led us to our final destination, Minocqua, Wisconsin, where Colleen and I made some new friends, visited the world's smallest museum, and enjoyed some spectacular beers in a bright and friendly atmosphere. All this and more next time on Behind the Door. Until then, thanks for watching, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you down the road.